Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. John Nichols on the line with us with thenation.com and tweeting at Nichols Uprising or at The Nation. And John, welcome back to the program.
Good to be with you, Tom.
I understand that there is some evidence now that there is secret funding for the voter ID laws in Wisconsin that is all about, as the, member of the Pennsylvania state legislature said,
Yep.
These voter ID laws will help Mitt Romney win in November? Or words to that effect?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, he said specifically that in a talk that he did not anticipate was being taped for consumption by people like Thom Hartmann.
You have the clip? What did you just say, Shane? You have the clip. Here, we can play this clip, actually. Here it is.
Voter ID, which is going to allow Governor Romney to win the state of Pennsylvania. Done.
Right. And the Republicans are all applauding. So it's done in Wisconsin as well, or is it?
No, it is not done in Wisconsin.
Okay.
In fact, fascinatingly enough, the Wisconsin law, which went much further than the Pennsylvania law, was ruled unconstitutional by a local judge. And that ruling was extremely well written and is likely to be upheld. What's interesting, though, is that the Republican legislators and others in Wisconsin had thrown full force into trying to overturn the ruling. They've been saying, we got to have this law. They've gone into court with a top legal team, some of the most expensive lawyers, not just in Wisconsin, but nationally.
Right.
The question that arose for the last several weeks is, who's paying for this? It's not these legislators. It's not these local officials that have filed the action to try and overturn the ruling and get the voter ID law on the books. And for weeks, there was a lack of clarity, and nobody had any answers. Everybody was vague. And now, as part of an ethics filing against two of the legislators, it was revealed that from the start, the Republican National Committee, not some donor, not some side player, the Republican National Committee has been providing full funding for the legal fight to put the strictest voter ID law in the nation on the books in a swing state.
Amazing.
Now this begs two questions, Tom. First off, why were they so secretive about it if they're so proud of it? Well, of course, they know full well that this law in Wisconsin, like the laws in many other states, has been decried as an overt, not a has the impact of, but an overt move to deny the franchise to hundreds of thousands of voters. But number two, what's interesting is it begs the question, how many other states is the RNC really the behind-the-scenes funder, potentially?
Probably all of them, John.
Yeah?
Probably all of them. I mean, this is their strategy. The guy in Pennsylvania just laid it out. This is Paul Weyrich on steroids. And in fact, we have Paul Weyrich, don't we? Here is... Yeah, this clip should be played every single day on every progressive station in America at least once. This is the guy who founded the American Legislative Exchange Council, ALEC, who co-founded the Heritage Foundation, who helped run the Reagan campaign, the Bush Senior campaign, and the Bush Junior campaign, speaking to a group of Christian Republican activists in Dallas, Texas in 1980. Paul Weyrich, here he is.
Now, many of our Christians have what I call the goo-goo syndrome, good government. They want everybody to vote. I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
Paul Weyrich speaking the truth.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating is that while you ran through that list of qualifications, quote-unquote, for Paul Weyrich that put him very close to the Republican establishment, what we have now, and we ought not underestimate this, is clear evidence that a political party, the Republican National Committee as the literal face of the Republican Party in America, has become the financial point group for passing voter ID laws. And this is a very big deal because it ends any sort of deniability And it also does something else I think that you as a historian, Tom, will appreciate and recognize. Remember, the Republican Party was founded in opposition to slavery. It is a party that contributed mightily to the passage of the Voting Rights Act back in the 1960s. And actually, Republicans were key players even as late as 1990 in renewing the Voting Rights Act. And yet, here you have the Republican Party fully engaged with what the League of Women Voters, Common Cause, and other nonpartisan groups refer to as a voter suppression initiative that most serious analysts say is aimed at turning African Americans and Hispanics away from the polls.
And elderly people and college students.
Students and others. But what a striking bit of evidence of the decay of the Republican Party from its founding and even from its relatively recent roots.
Well, did you see where the Texas Republican Party just released their party platform, and one of the planks in their party platform is it's really quite remarkable. We urge this is verbatim. We urge the Voter Rights Act of 1965, codified and updated in 1973, be repealed and not reauthorized.
And you know what's so tragic about that? And again, putting it in the context of now finding out that they're funding efforts to suppress the vote. What's so tragic about that is that you will still hear folks like Sean Hannity on radio and television making a big deal about the fact that Republicans were key players in passing the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act back in the 1960s. Yeah. And you know what? There's very rare moments where I say that Sean Hannity is right about something, but he is.
I doubt he's talking about it anymore now, John. Now that these state parties, I mean, anywhere in Texas that he's heard, he doesn't want to be echoing that message. John Nichols with The Nation. John, thanks a lot.
Thank you, brother.
Great talking with you.